of my knees hurting. I'm tired of my back hurting because my stomach hangs so far down.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Fans of My 600-Pound Life love watching patients reach their goals after putting in a lot of time and work. In today's video, therefore, we will be looking at some of the most incredible weight loss success stories that will blow your mind away. So, let's roll. Incredible weight loss stories of Dr. Now's patients. Tara Taylor.
This I can't deal with. If I could cut it off right now, I would. And wouldn't care, just take it off.
When 35-year-old Tara Taylor appeared on the show, she revealed she had struggled with her weight her whole life, to the point where she lacked confidence and had no social life. Her episode showed how, given her large bulk of 606 pounds, she battled with walking, breathing, and acute joint pain. The final straw for her came when her weight began to interfere with her ability to care for her children. As a result, Tara packed her belongings and moved to Houston with her family to seek Dr. Now's help. She struggled to adjust to the new, healthier lifestyle at first, but after some time, her attitude about eating and exercise entirely changed. She worked hard, lost weight, and underwent gastric bypass surgery. And by the end of the episode, she had reduced an incredible 278 pounds. Tara is quite private about her personal life. Her weight loss journey was still going strong when we last heard from her. She was focusing on eating wisely and in moderation, with her children being the driving force behind her desire to remain healthy. Octavia Nichelle.
I've gotten so big now that I'm at the point where my weight is literally killing me.
We remember watching Octavia in distress when she weighed 692 pounds. She had to travel to Dr. Now on a mattress in the back of a van since she was bedridden. She hadn't been in a car in years before that trip to Texas. However, it was high time for a change. Of course, meeting Dr. Now in person involves a strict diet and exercise regimen, and regaining control of one's health takes a great amount of self-control and encouragement from loved ones. And, well, she stuck to her word exceptionally well and shed a significant amount of weight while filming. She lost 456 pounds by the end of her episode, which is a huge achievement by any standard. Looking at where she is now, it's clear she's gone through one of the most major transformations the series has ever seen. Looking at recent photos of Octavia Gahagens, it's clear that she's done an amazing job of losing weight and staying healthy. Silas Givens.
I can't believe I've let my life get this bad, all because of my weight.
Silas Givens, a young man from Detroit, was a talented musician. Givens had a loveless and lonely childhood, so he turned to food for comfort. His weight climbed to 729 pounds over time, leaving him immobile and oxygen dependent. Jessica and their 3 children were a source of emotional support for Givens, but he knew that he needed medical help if he wanted to live a normal life. Silas Givens' story is one of the most uplifting stories on the show. Givens got gastric surgery and followed through on his promise to work hard on diet and exercise. He had lost 388 pounds and restored his mobility at the end of the season. Silas has continued to focus on his health following his episode. He can be seen on social media showing his newly muscular arms, suggesting that he has achieved his weight loss goals. He and his family now live in North Carolina, where he was just upgraded to supervisor at his work. Christina Phillips.
I never thought I'd get this big.
Young Christina Phillips was only 22 years old, but weighed a massive 708 pounds. She could not do anything on her own and was completely dependent on her husband, Zach. Dr. Now, Christina's sole hope for survival, put her on a strict diet and prescribed exercise before she could undergo gastric bypass surgery. Christina had lost enough weight to convince Dr. Now that she was physically ready for surgery. While she was ecstatic to be taking the next step towards better health, it didn't appear that her husband shared the same enthusiasm. Christina was prepared to be self-sufficient, but Zach was not. Unaffected by her husband's reservations, she went ahead with the weight loss operation. Eventually, Christina and Zach separated their ways, but she continued on her path and shed an incredible 525 pounds. She looked great after her episode and seemed to be in good spirits. She was looking forward to having her skin removed. Amber Ratchty.
I feel like a nasty, yucky monster.
23-year-old Amber Ratchty appeared in season 3 and revealed her dread of failing and anxiousness about the changes she would have to make losing weight. She lived with her parents, on whom she was completely reliant for her survival. Rowdy, her boyfriend, tried to be supportive, but he couldn't help but enable her. She couldn't even stand for more than 30 minutes and needed to use a motorized scooter to get around. When she finally saw the doctor, she took his advice and began modifying her eating habits to be eligible for the surgery. Dr. Now approved Amber for surgery after she lost 17 pounds. She moved out of her parents' house after the surgery in an attempt to reclaim her health and independence. She ultimately gained the ability to walk longer distances and drive herself around. She also started going to therapy, where she worked with her therapist to identify triggers and try out different anxiety coping tactics. Amber Ratchty is now a model and a social media influencer, and her hard work has inspired many people. Brittany Fulfer.
Every single day I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, what did you do to yourself?
When Brittany Fulfer reached just over 600 pounds, she sought Dr. Now's aid to lose weight. During her time on the show, she informed the camera about her tragic childhood experience of being abused, which led to her becoming addicted to food. Brittany was put on a rigorous diet and was told to exercise more by Dr. Now. She heeded Dr. Now's instructions and began to lose weight quickly. Brittany has shed almost 333 pounds since the broadcast. Due to the amount of exposed skin on her body, Brittany underwent skin removal surgery. Her abdomen alone received a 27-pound fat removal. Now she even attends therapy to maintain her weight loss. She has also improved her eating habits and increased her physical activity and seems to have a wonderful marriage with Bill. Janine Mueller.
I'm just afraid I'm going to become this big mass of pain that just lays in my bed all day.
Janine Mueller was over 600 pounds when she initially appeared on the show. She described the problem she was having as a result of her weight, saying that even simple tasks like waking up in the morning were painfully uncomfortable because her joints and body were in horrific pain. She also had to use a scooter to move around. With severe pain preventing her from performing daily tasks, she appeared to have reached her breaking point and was ready to make a fresh start. She weighed a whopping 678 pounds when she arrived at Dr. Now's facility and was far from ready for the surgery. Dr. Now put her on a tailored diet and exercise regimen right away, although she faced multiple challenges during her treatment. But she addressed them head-on and won. Janine shed roughly 366 pounds after following Dr. Now's plan. Marla McCants.
If she act like a kid, you treat her like a kid.
Marla had a lot of success on the show, and even more outside of it. When she initially appeared on the show, she weighed 800 pounds. The mother of 3 had been through a lot in her life. Her ex-boyfriend kidnapped her and held her at gunpoint. As a result, Marla began to overeat on junk food to cope with her mental pain. She had already passed the 700-pound mark by the time cops got her out of her captivity. She needed to hire a nurse aide to look after her, and by the time, her weight had crept up to 800 pounds. She couldn't move, get out of bed, or perform basic duties. She devoted herself totally to regaining her previous self after meeting Dr. Now. She gradually lost enough weight to be approved for gastric bypass surgery and weighed 534 pounds at the end of her episode. These days, Marla works as a health advocate and motivational speaker. She has her blog where she gives updates about her life daily. Angie J.
If I can't start losing the weight, I'm not going to be alive much longer.
Angie J, when she first appeared on the show, weighed 643 pounds and had a past which was dark and heartbreaking. However, while on the show, she criticized Dr. Now's diet rules and she was blamed for using drugs while being on the diet. She lost just under 50 pounds in the 8 months that the cameras followed her around, but she was still a long way from the weight she needed to reach to be considered for gastric bypass surgery. Angie J appeared to be a lost cause by the end of her episode with little progress. Despite this, she continued to work on her goal off camera and appeared to have eventually accomplished it, as she claims to have dropped 120 pounds of her weight. Justin McSwain.
I've given up the best years of my life to addiction and illness. At this point, I'm killing myself.
Justin McSwain was close to 700 pounds when he came on the show. He even struggled to fit into a rental car to make his way over to Dr. Now's office. Dr. Now advised him that if he wanted to have surgery, he needed to shed 100 pounds. And even though he came barely short of that goal, he was given the go-ahead. Shortly after undergoing his skin removal surgery, Justin moved back to South Carolina, where they seem to be leading a very active lifestyle. He now appears to be a completely different person. Justin is active on social media, where he posts photos of himself doing things he never thought he could, such as wall climbing and mountaineering. He published a side-by-side shot in May 2019 to show how far he'd come in a year, and the results were quite astounding. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. And if you guys found it interesting, I would much appreciate it if you comment down below about the video and leave the thumbs up. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.